Okay, let's start off. LS1tech, private message answering question video number 2. Since people learn from this and it's hilarious sometimes, I guess we will see what happens. What I got here. I have had some alcohol to drink. And I guess we will see how this goes. Oh man. Let's Sloppy Mechanic Facebook spelled incorrectly. Okay, just did. How do I send my Facebook profile? Oh my god. I think this is the guy that said he couldn't join or something like that. He's like, how do I send my Facebook profile? Oh my god. Copy and paste the link to your Facebook main page or a wall. It's so cold out here, my hands are frozen. I said, let me know if you already joined. Send me your Facebook profile. This guy was having trouble joining earlier. I don't know. Let's go to the next one. This guy looking to get my 427 tunes. Okay, I understand. Is there a tuner you can recommend? I live in Central PA. I was hoping to find a reputable tuner within a 5-hour drive. Mostly do it for fun, and Mark is my friend. Oh, so we learned is like he quoted me incorrectly, and I can't understand that that's my quote. But he quoted me. This guy wants a reputable tuner in Central PA. Can any of you guys recommend somebody? He lives in Central PA and wants a reputable tuner within a 5-hour drive. Isn't that Frost? That guy Frost is really fucking good. Can he go to that guy? I said, you ever look up Frost? Tune by Frost? Tune by Frost, that's the guy's webpage and whatever. I said, how close are you? See if he can help you out. Otherwise, like, if this guy's got nothing, I guess I can help him. Reluctantly, I will walk myself into helping him. And we will see how that goes. Mark Friedrich is sending me messages. If you can hear that. Buzzing. I guess, is this thing wiggling? Is it wiggling up there? I have it on top of the monitor to get a better look. I don't know. I don't think... Is this the monitor wiggling too much? Look away if you get motion sick and you're going to vomit. Is that good? Is that better? That's where it was the first time. Deal with it. Deal with these hands. This guy says, quick question. Ah, he asked about the tile stuff. This is a reply. Yeah, I said buy the VS stuff. It's a tile MVS clone. He said he ordered the wastegate and bob. Oh my god, is that fucking intergalactic? Copyright coming right up. Fucking copyright my shit. Maybe if I talk enough, loud enough, over Beastie Boys Intergalactic, I won't get any fucking copyright infringement. I'm applying to this guy. It's awesome. Good to hear. Thanks for the reply and your contributions to the community. I enjoyed watching your video replying to these. You look hilarious when you type. It's nice to get your thoughts in a long format. I hope you continue to do that. So this guy watched the LS1tech replies and he was part of it. Awesome. Anyway, I hope you continue to do that. It's a good way to get another video out there, especially since you are spending time on it anyway. Sorry I was unclear on my message about exhaust. I was referring to the exhaust side throughout my message. I am fully aware 750 horsepower is not autocrossable. We aren't building this engine specifically for autocross, but we will be doing that with it. We already auto-X the car right now. If we can't handle it, we will be going as far as blocking the wastegate open to keep the power as low as possible. This guy's a fucking character. He has 9 posts, and all he wants to do is autocross a 700 horsepower car. I'm assuming an F-body, because LS1tech. I'm relieved to hear that you think 750 wheel will be attainable with that turbo. I was honestly worried since it seems most people stop around 600 on your dyno. Well, they're automatics unlocked, and you have a stick shift car, so in a dick measuring contest, the stick shift goes a lot farther. It shows you have a much bigger dick. Thank you for mentioning about your training videos being for sale. I didn't know that. I'm also interested in taking a class with you guys. Awesome. If you guys didn't know, I want to make a video one day soon about like what all Sloppy has to offer in like the Sloppy Kingdom. Because people don't seem to realize that there's a wiki page and that there's like 1,500 videos I have uploaded and resources and other crazy shit. And they come out swinging on they join the Sloppy Facebook page, probably because people tell them to. Just friends and whatnot, and they're like, how do I do whatever? And they don't realize it's already been answered 20 times, and they can't understand other people's frustrations. What is this guy? Oh, thanks for all your help. He says he wants to, hope I don't miss the announcement when the next Megasport class is. Thanks for all your help. Merry Christmas. What a nice guy. See? This is why I get, I feel bad blasting people sometimes. Because maybe he didn't know, or maybe he had a simple question, or maybe he thought I would never answer. All of the above. But then he's a nice guy. Says thanks and Merry Christmas. What a nice guy. P.S. You got the username correct. It's pronounced mechanic. Yeah, I'm sure. He spelled it all funny. Anyway, awesome. Yes. Good replies. This guy's happy I replied to him. Awesome. Awesome. Keep checking the page for updates. There's a wiki page dedicated to it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Auto X the car, 750 wheel. Yeah, I mean, even if you spring the wastegate open. See, this makes more sense. I mean, he elaborated more, maybe because I responded, because he thought I wouldn't respond. Who knows? Anyway, keep the gate as low as possible, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, 750 tire. I'm fully aware 750 is not autocrossable. See, what they fail to mention is I want to be able to have 750 accessible horsepower, but most likely turn it down to 300 to drive around a parking lot. That makes more sense when you ask a question. Anyway. Awesome. Keep checking the page for updates for classes. There's a wiki page dedicated to it. I said thanks for asking and watching the videos. Thanks. Why not? This guy says EFI Sourcebox LS tune. Yes, sir. The 24X LS2. I originally did that with the turbo tune. Car idle great. Fans came on, but I had a delay in the throttle during slight increases. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff here. Let me drink my... That's my party cup, guys. I've tried all I know in the idle control tabs, and there are some differences that I don't quite understand. One is the injector timing. Yeah, just put injector timing to 0. All the other turbo tunes. What? Idle surging. Yeah, I mean, here's what sucks. Idle tuning is difficult. You will frequently hear people say on the internet that wide open throttle tuning is easy. And that's true. Giving something an accurate amount of fuel in ignition when you're flooring the thing is pretty much super easy. Because you're flooring it. It's one condition. Driving, idling, when you put the car in reverse, drive, when you K-turn, like when I back out of my garage, I live in a fucking alleyway in Allentown, and you have to like back out, hit the curb, throw it in drive, go forward, opposite lock, gas it a little, gas a little bit, and then hit the brake, and then throw it in reverse, and then K-turn, and then that's when you're going to piss a car off the most. And you are going to need to nitpick every option for closed loop idle to make it not be a finicky bitch. And you can easily defeat all of this by making your idle outrageously high, which most people don't like. They're like, why does my car idle high? Why does it take so long? Why does it hang and hang and hang and then drop? They get frustrated because tuning that stuff takes days, weeks sometimes. Sometimes you fire the car cold and it's fine because it's cold out. It gets hot immediately and then it's hot outside and you fire the car and it gets hot fast. You throw it in reverse and it stalls. Or it's fine until you drive uphill at light throttle and then bang reverse without hitting the brake and letting it... Yeah, anyway, you get the idea. It gets pretty complicated. Closed loop idle stuff is difficult sometimes, unless you're doing like a stock computer car, in my opinion. Most of the time, closed loop idle is really easy. I have tuned on the enrichment in every way which I know, as well as in the VE areas, and I can't seem to get rid of it. The turbo tune didn't seem to do that upon comparing them. Here's the thing, like the gold box, since you can... Stock computer will automatically 0 TPS. Stock computer will automatically assume a lot of things. Stock computer idle strategies will work a lot better than an aftermarket one, in my opinion, because you're going to have to reset the throttle and make sure it's going into closed loop and make sure that it's accessing those closed loop tables at certain mile an hour. And again, it gets so convoluted, like, man, I don't even know. It's 90 degrees. Yeah, injection timing, make it zero that out. 360 in all the cells when I flip the throttle. Yeah, it's not throttle. Okay. I guess cliff notes. I guess this guy puts cliff notes at the end of his thing. This is nice. I guess cliff notes to the above, ramble, or I'm just looking to get all the HP out of it, NA, as well as the bugs, then reduce timing and extend the VE table for boost. I wouldn't do that. If you're going to tune a car and you're going to boost it anyway, set up the table to have like 300 kPa at the top and 100 kPa 1/3 of the way and then up into boost, because if you're going to scale it anyway, why ruin everything you already did? If you're going to turbo eventually, just tune a small fraction of that table and leave all that excess 2/3 for boost. Don't rescale the whole goddamn thing. I mean, especially for naturally aspirated, it's only going to take a certain amount of ignition, depending on heads and compression ratio, like 18 to 24, unless it's a terrible old stock truck motor, totally stock. It might take 26 up top on pump gas. Just, probably not. I remember seeing how much power you made out of the LS2, so I wanted to know your secrets. Really, there's no secret. What's funny is if you watch some of the class videos or you come to one of the classes, not that you have to come to a class, but a motor is going to give up a certain amount of power easily. It's easily going to give up power, and then at some point it's going to fall off. And you're going to put like 18 degrees of ignition. LS motors especially are not very finicky with ignition, in my opinion anyway. You can put like 22 degrees of timing in it and roll into it and see what it makes, and you can put 23 in it and it makes no extra power. You go back down and you have 20 degrees in it. Say it's a decent compression, like 9.5, 10 to 1, has a long tubes and a cam, it's all motor. You put 20 degrees in it and it makes 356 horsepower to the tire. You go from 20 to 21 degrees and it makes 357 horsepower to the tire. That's no fucking difference. So you go back to like 19 degrees and you roll it again and it makes 350 horsepower to the tire. Well, it only lost 5 or 6 horsepower peak. You look over the whole curve, I mean, if you're fortunate enough to use a dyno or be tuning it on a dyno, you can see right away you're getting diminishing returns. I don't know if other people have said this, but I say it all the time. Diminishing returns. Turbo car, especially, like I tell people all the time in my tuning classes and other stuff,
A turbo car will make like 25 rear wheel per degree. It's obnoxious. Like on low boost, if you have 14 pounds and 12 degrees, and you make 400 horsepower to the tire, you put 1 degree in it, and it makes 433 to the tire. It liked that degree. So then you can put 1 more degree in it, and if it makes 460 to the tire, holy shit, it liked that also. And then if it makes 460 again to the tire, you've obviously hit the point of where putting that power in doesn't matter. So you might go back a degree or leave it alone at that. It depends whether or not it's climbing or falling. And then you can mess around. It's tough because a lot of cars I tune are automatics with converters, and they will swing like straight into the 5,000, 6,000 range, and they will sit on like 1 cell. So it's not, building a curve is kind of not as important because the car sits in 1,000 horsepower, not 1,000 horsepower, 1,000 RPM range. It just sits there. It goes up and it sits. And like, I have a joke, I say it's like a 3-cell car. It sits in 3 fuel or ignition cells at the top, and that's it. It's like if you data log it, when you make a pull down the track, it just sits up there and hangs out. I make a lot of those cars tabletop, like 14 total, through that whole range, because it just threw down, and I show a mile-an-hour graph, and a lot of times people get, man, I'm taking a long time to answer this question. But anyway, these are secrets. This guy's asking for secrets. If the car just sits in 1,000 horsepower range and it makes the same, say this thing comes up in the converter at 100 mile an hour and it draws a straight line of 700 rear wheel all the way to 150 mile an hour, that amount of ignition is fine because it's sitting at that RPM. It's just fucking hanging there. A lot of people, they want to imagine like a nice RPM curve of like I watch Engine Masters on Roadkill, and the guys, they load up the engine on the dyno and then they smash it on the load and bring it up, and it draws this beautiful RPM chart. Well, here's the funny thing. When you have a giant fucking converter and you hit your car, it goes right to 5,500, 6,000, and it sits. It fucking sits in 1 or 2 cells on the entire fuel and ignition table. It just hangs out. It's like, yeah, this is a nice spot. I'll just fucking chill here. And you shift gears and it drops maybe a little bit and it goes right into the same cell. And then it goes up to the 800 foot mark on the track and maybe goes to 6,000. And then from 800 foot to 1,300 feet, it goes up to close to 6,500 or 7,000. So it's just fucking hanging out. It's right here in a fuel and ignition table this large. It's right fucking here 80% of the time when you come off the trans brake or foot brake or whatever the fuck you have. So there's no point in building a beautiful chart unless you have a stick shift car that's actually going to use part of that. So significance is just building a decent amount in there. Man, how much out of it NA as well? Oh man, if you're gonna turbo it, scale your table a third of the way and 2/3 up into boost, and try to build something decent with it. I just need to buy your CD. Sorry for the rant. Well, I hope you guys understand, there's really no CD. There's no DVD or CD for sale. So the videos cover most of it, and I say the same thing in the videos. Most people, even most race cars, say Mark's car that went high 7s with a fairly simple combination, it would come up to like almost $6,000, and then at the very end of the track go from 6 to 6,600. It was like a 3-cell car, and it would go 780s. Unbelievable, but it would just fucking hang. Again, in a 32 by 32 table, something outrageous, lots of resolution. It's like here, 80% of the time during the pass. He comes off the foot brake, like bloop, boom, boom, off the trans brake, it comes up here, and it just sits. So as long as that part is correct, woo, that's fine. It's unbelievable, it's hard to understand. But that's what the car does the whole time down the track. So that's what you tune it for, obviously. Anyway, man, I don't know how long I've been answering this guy's question, but literally tuning an all-motor car wide open, it's just going to take a certain amount. And it's going to like it, and it's not going to like it. And I would say, with an LS motor, they don't take much timing at all. So obviously you be conservative first, and then you trickle some in, maybe over 5,000, 6,000 to 7,000 RPM. Most of the time they're totally quitting by then, and see if it picks up. And if it doesn't, go fucking backwards. Go backwards. There's no need to keep pushing on so hard. You know, we'll see. Wow. Anyway, I got very convoluted here, and I hope maybe he watches this video. Maybe I should reply to all these people with links to the video. If I copy everything over, it still doesn't help. I'm running a referenced. Here's the thing. If you're running a turbo tune of mine and you're running all motor, you're going to have issues when you pedal it or whack it. Because all motor, you're hitting the throttle and it's ingesting atmosphere. If you have a turbo car, you're hitting it, you're most likely getting air. Even if it's not boost, you're getting air. Like a leaf blower is helping you all the time. It's like, here's fucking air, you know? It's helping you all the time. So, it's difficult here. If he has a gold box and the stock LS2 tune, he doesn't say what size injectors he has. He should just blow in like my Colorado tune or the Fairmont 5 tune and make sure. He should check whether or not he has the ethanol content sensor enabled. That's a whole other can of worms. I seriously need to make a video over on my whiteboard where I overview all this shit. It gets difficult. Yeah, I mean, it's a whole can of worms thing. Like, depending on your injector size and other things. As a depending on your injector size and all motor or turbo tuning, it will drastically change your needs in the setup. So the throttle body might feel funny because it doesn't have a turbo feeding it. And at low RPM, it's not breathing through a straw. It gets totally out of whack. If you're just going to go turbo eventually, this stuff's tough. I mean, unless they bring the car to a class or they bring the car to me personally and I set up a tune and I'm like, man, everything's so far off. Just do this if you're going to do this. Obviously, map sensor can be so far skewed because it's not measuring air coming in. It's just measuring like when's the throttle open or when are you flooring it or whatever. Oh man. I think I talked about this for fucking 20 minutes and we didn't get anywhere. Dude, I'm totally lost. I mean, I said to him, like, I would just load newest firmware, like 141-ish, and load, like, my Colorado tune and change the base required fuel, which is the fueling for the entire car, and see how you get from there with if you have smaller injectors in the car. It's all a lot of unknowns. The injector phasing, injector timing, I would zero out because the original injector timing tables were set up for a Hemi engine. I have zeroed them out in most of my tunes if you take a look. I mean, and you got to go from there, see how everything else works. Alright, we're back after that one. You guys can let me know. I think if I am drunker, it's harder for me to stay on track. You can let me know. This guy has a reply question number 2. Yeah, it works. You can just put it in there instead of number 2 or struggle if fit them don't mind. I can't remember what I answered this guy. It's a reply. I just ordered my cam from Texas Speed. It was a custom grind for a Trailblazer SS intake and a S475. I just really like the placement of the gate and the exhaust housing, assuming he's asking about that, obviously. Looks like you can control boost better as well. I was going to contact VS for my turbo setup. Thanks again for the response. How did the Jake's converter work out for you? Well, sir, Jake's converter is working great because it's a lockup. I haven't done any unlock pulls, but as I was climbing mountains on my hour drive home, obviously it was holding a lot better. I want to do an entire update video for my truck soon to make sure people understand that. I know people like the dyno pull videos and the overall amount of power and some other things. And then there's a whole other 50% of my channel that just wants to be inundated with information, and I'm creating a video for them next, which will explain stuff back to front and how everything is doing. And then all of my pulls were locked, not unlocked, so I don't have a direct comparison. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, yes, I do really enjoy putting the wastegate in the housing. I feel like it's easier to do, and I put it on my wife's truck, and we can run 3 pounds of boost if I want to on a small turbo. So, yeah, anyway, it works great. I was going to contact VS for my turbo setup. Thanks again, blah, 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 blah. Jake's converter's working great. VS Racing, my buddy Varen that runs VS Racing. VS means Varen Singh Racing. He does an awesome job, incredible. He's easy to deal with. All of that stuff on top of each other. Obviously, he's a great man to work with. Anyway. I said VS Racing is awesome to deal with. I've been dealing with the Ren for over 10 years. Just let him know what you want to accomplish. He will help you out. Oh man, HP Tuners. Hershey, this guy's literally, his username is Hershey Squirt. Hershey Squirt. I know you are a gold box guy, but I have watched your HP videos also. I have made some changes to my car and going to buy HP instead of paying over and over for tuning. Awesome. Learn how to do it yourself. I have a 370 turbo car with a Little John Stage 2 in an auto. In an automobile? I'm assuming you mean in an automatic. Car was tuned with a TU2 cam previous. Would you happen to have a tune that I could use at least to look at, start my changes with? I mean, here's what's difficult. Who tuned your car? I don't know. So was your car set up on speed density and tuned already since it's turbo? I mean, if it's already tuned and you just swap the cam, just try to start the fucker, and if it runs good and it's close, I mean, if it was already tuned by somebody, just download the tune once you get HP tuners and take a look at it. And if you start it and you drive it and your air fuel and everything is anywhere near close or respectable, if you're watching a wideband and you're not a moron and it doesn't look like it's going to blow up, you can go from there and just do touch-ups yourself. There's a lot of things depending on that. Is the tune file locked? What is the tune-up? Is it speed density? Are you speed density now? We're using a mass air meter that complicates things quite a bit. Would you happen to have a tune that I could use or at least look at? I mean, he's using a stock computer, and here's where it gets really difficult. What stock computer are you using? Is it drive-by-cable? Is it drive-by-wire? Is it late model? Is it early model? Most of my tune-ups are early model drive-by-cable. So if you are a late model drive-by-wire and you have a 6-speed trans and all sorts of crazy shit going on, I don't really, honestly, if you look at what I have available, I don't have a good base tune for that because you have something entirely different. You can look at what I have and be like, oh, you know, this is similar, or maybe it helps me out if I copy over idle tables or something, which, yeah, I mean, it gets really crazy really fast knowing nothing again. But yeah, if it's like a stock computer car and it's mildly modified, a stock computer setup should be able to get you pretty far. It's not that difficult to modify what's already there if it already runs pretty good. If you already had a reputable guy tune it and you spent money and... I mean, you can understand. I hope you understand after checking this stuff out what it means and like where you go from and how you get there, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. Is it too much rum? Has there been too much rum? Everyone's like, drink more and get colder. Well, it's cold and I drank more, and I don't know if I'm being any more helpful or not. Maybe I just feel like I'm not being helpful. Do I have a tune that you could use? I said, does it start already? Does it run already? Since it was already tuned and you just did a cam change, most likely it will just take fuel and minimal ignition tuning. Man, it's cold out here. It's like 18 degrees outside. Just see if it runs, and then make your changes from there. Like, don't get overly complex if it was already tuned and running. I'm just gonna send that. I'm not sure exactly what I typed. This guy says Mustang. Guy's username is SBF, small block Ford. Hey man, on the Mustang with the 403, S480, do you know, all of this is spelled incorrectly, what front and rear suspension parts was on the car? No, I'm assuming he means Mark's car that went high sevens. I'm going to say it was mostly off-shelf tubular I'm saying it was mostly off-shelf tubular front end and regular narrowed coilover back end. There was nothing special about that car, which is incredible because of how fast it went. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know all the intricacies about that. Fairmont Tune on the wiki site. I actually saw your reply on YouTube before I saw it here. I was able to grab the MSQ files. Thanks again. And answering video in the... Whoa! So you were able to find the file on... This guy was able to help himself with my recommendation on the video before he even saw the reply. I said, wow, you were able to find on the wiki page and help yourself, blah, 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 awesome. Doing another video thing right now. I misspelled a lot of words because I'm drinking. I'm just going to send it because I don't want to waste any more time. This guy says 4.8 versus 5.3 piston mass. I know you've done loads of 4.8 and 5.3 builds. I was wondering if throughout your days you've had one torn down and take the time to put them on a scale. No fucking way have I measured anything inside an engine on an LS motor. If it's a part and I need to get it together and floor it on the fucking dyno, I don't spend any time looking at that shit. If the ring lands are on the pistons, I fucking jam them in. I know 4.8 and 5.3 pistons are identical, some dish or flat. I'm curious if it's a mass. Well, buddy, let's just say I have no idea in mass difference or weight at all. Here's the funny thing, some 5.3s have flat pistons. Some of you might know that already, but some 5.3s have flat pistons. Some 5.3s are high compression. I mean, average of 5.3 is a dish, and average of a 4.8 is flat. A lot of people take a 4.8 piston, put it in a 5.3, bump their compression, do the swap, all that other stuff. That's fine and dandy, except for the people that spend way too much time and money buying fucking 4.8 pistons and swapping it and realizing they have floaters and they bought pressed ones and nothing fits and their project sat on jack stands for a year longer. Anyway, I'm too long in here. I'm just gonna send that right now. I didn't even read the rest of it. I have no idea of weight difference. I'm assuming there is a weight difference. Who cares about the weight difference? I have done Gen 4 rotating assembly in a Gen 3 motor. I swapped the cranks, I swapped the rods, I swapped the pistons, I jammed them in. I put 2 different cylinder heads on top of that motor and it still made 711 horsepower to the tire. So I'm in my long run assumption here, it doesn't fucking matter at all. Just jam them in. Just jam that shit in and floor your car. Just get it in the car and floor it. Next question. Big guy, sorry, what is his username? It's all fucking over 2 lines. It says Chevy Guy Big 10 5.3 liter. Need help 5.3 build. Hey Matt. You know what's curious to me is how many people know my actual name. I think that's funny and interesting at the same time. Hey Matt, my name is Brian. I'm a huge fan of your Turbo Fairmont builds. If you do on your YouTube. I'm starting a budget 5.3 build and I need a little guidance on either doing a turbo build or an NA build. What do you need guidance for? Whether you either want a turbo and you want to smash down a massive amount of power, or you want to spend your entire savings and your rent on building a naturally aspirated motor that will most likely disappoint you in the long run. It's going in an 86 C10. My goal is to burn the tires off the thing, and I want to get at least 400 to 500 horsepower out of the thing. 400, 500 horsepower flywheel, rear wheel, it's difficult with a 5.3. The engine is a 5.3 out of an 02 Tahoe. I also have an 80E, awesome. At least you don't have a fucking 60E. Might as well go turbo right away and just go the motor and trans, trying to build a parts list. The main thing I need is picking a cam. I totally lost on what cam. I need springs. It'd be awesome if you could recommend one or whatever worked the best for you. The truck will never hit the track. I just want it to be retarded and do rolling burnouts. Here's the funny thing. Chevy Guy, Big 10 5.3. If all you want to do is burnouts, get like a 5,000 RPM stall converter. Get a fucking absurdly gigantic stall converter and just do burnouts with it. Because that shit will just swing all day long and just roll the tires off. Put like 430 gears and a 5,000 RPM stall and you won't be able to fucking pull out of a stoplight and you will think it's retarded. I mean, he says the truck will never hit the track. Make it, I mean, you could save a lot of money and just put a gigantic stall converter in the car and just do burnouts. I mean, does that answer a question? You save a lot of money by not buying a turbo or anything. I know you're busy. I'm looking forward to your other builds and see how you blow up your Colorado. I am too. I don't know how long this bitch is gonna last. Truthfully, I like that addition at the end there. Anyway, seriously, if you just want burnouts and you I said if you just want burnouts and you already have an 80E, just get really steep gears and a huge converter and go nuts. And you can floor it all day. I mean, I'm assuming that most people want to eventually go to the track and run a decent time, but if you don't, get an astronomically large converter and the car will feel like it has an unbelievable amount of power until you trap 100 miles an hour and you realize it doesn't. You'll be happy if you never go to the track. Plenty of people, I feel like if they never go to the track, they'll be happy. Yeah, I mean, turbo and I said, turbo and other stuff aside, if you just want burnouts, just do a gears and a converter. It'll be insane. You'll never throw down a crazy mile an hour at the track, but who the fuck cares if all you want to do is burnouts and never go to the track? You'll never be disappointed. You'll think your shit has 800 horsepower until you go to the track and you drop 100 miles an hour. I'm just gonna send it. I don't want to read or type anymore. This guy says drag wagon. His subject line is drag wagon and his username is drag wagon. Huge respect, big fan, watch all your videos. Awesome. That's cool. Your advice is greatly appreciated. Goal. Look at this guy stating a goal immediately because he watches all my videos probably. Equals power to go 899 in the quarter, sloppy style. 2,500 pounds race weight with me in the seat. Well, that's light as fuck. You don't need shit. 800 flywheel, best case scenario. This guy's very descriptive. I enjoy this. What I have is a Gen 4 4.8 4L80E from a 2006 van. 862 heads. Hope to use pump gas and meth. You're going to have to be touchy. You're going to maybe visit a dyno and be careful or start off very conservatively. Can stock cam get there? 800 flywheel, a big boost. If not, what's the cheapest and simplest cam for a turbo combo? Well, thanks for all the goals. This makes it easy. A 4L80E and a 4.8 with 862 heads will easily make 700 tire, which is easily enough power to go 899 if the car 60 foot's good. And he says it weighs 2,500 pounds with him in the seat. It should go retardedly fast. It should need like 600 tire with a good 60 foot should go that fast, which should be easy. I can't spell. I'm too drunk to spell. Well, thanks for the goals. Even 600 tires should go that fast at that weight with a good 60 foot. There's a large assumption here. If the car fucking leaves, it's going to go that fast. If the car cuts a 1.7, it's going to go like, it might go 850 at 156 miles an hour. Can stock cam get to 800 flywheel with big boost? What's the cheapest and simplest cam? I mean, even... I said even a Little John Stage 1 cam will be a huge improvement over a stock truck cam. Here's the thing, in a drag race situation, stock truck cam quits at like 5,000 RPM. You're going to spend most of your time drag racing, if everything's set up correctly, over 5,000 RPM. In which case your power is going to be fucking on the bottom end of a triangle of horsepower. At 5,000 RPM it's going to be fucking here. So the car is not going to go that well. I would say at least get it. At least get a small turbo dedicated camshaft. S475 off shelf turbo will be mint. And call PTC. What does he have? 80E, 4L80E. It gets tricky. I mean, any of the big name Jake's or PTC or Circle D. Jake's, PTC, or Circle D will be able to get you there on the converter. Shit, I mean, the car is so light, even the budget 80E converter might get you there, depending on your gearing, loss, and other stuff. Junkyard or factory parts are all good to me. I mean, you're gonna get there, especially the car's so goddamn light, it shouldn't be hard, you just gotta make it 60. Biggest thing is getting it to leave, obviously. Where are we getting here? The VS, here we go, next one. the VS 7875. Do you remember any numbers? You go on the dyno track with the VS 7875 or billet 7875. Here's the thing. The billet 7875 is fairly new, and I don't really have any dyno numbers or track numbers with it since it's so new. People are buying it right now, not installing it. I don't really have any comparisons. I'm about to purchase one with the 6-liter LS. I'm wondering if this Magnum T76Q trim just isn't cutting it. Well, here's the thing. The Magnum T76Q trim is probably a super small exhaust side, and depending on your goals. I can't spell. Not today. I said a Magnum 76 is like a 60 or 65 millimeter turbine. That's a super small exhaust side depending on your goals, and it's limited, especially with a 6-liter being the largest cubic inch of the junkyard motors. You're going to struggle the most because you're trying to jam the most amount of cubic inches exhaust energy out of that small ass turbine. It's going to back up the fastest. It's going to spool the fastest, but it's going to back up the fastest. So it really depends. I mean, it's going to make like the fastest spooling 500 or 600 horsepower ever, and it's going to quit at 5,000 RPM. So I'm just going to say that. It's going to make a really fast 500 or 600 tire and fucking quit at like 5,000 or 6,000 RPM. A lot of times it's not going to go that fast. This guy, Drag Wagon. I think he asked a question earlier. Sorry, mistake below Gen 3, Gen 4 guts. I'm going to go skip this because I can't even follow. What cam specs were in your 2000 Silverado 2500 build? Hey Matt, I was watching your 2000 Silverado 2500 and I'd be interested in the cam you used in that build, but I couldn't find the specs. Just thought I would ask and see if you recall the specs. Well, I can't remember them, honestly, and for twins, it was too much camshaft. Martin Smallwood custom cut that cam back in the day, many years ago, and then I completely changed the fucking setup to a single turbo. So, I mean, if you think it sounded cool, that's one thing, I don't know, but as far as how well the cam did, the truck never blew up. It ran decent, but I think the cam could have been better. At the same time, Martin spec'd it for something completely different. I said the numbers for the cam are in the thread somewhere in LS1tech, buried somewhere in there. I said cam was originally cut for a twin turbo that I didn't like and didn't work out, and I went to a single turbo. So it's totally off base of what you might assume or what you might get cut in today's world. I'm just gonna send it. I mean, I don't know what you mean. Do you want it to sound cool or do you want it to work? Two different things. This guy says, turbo exhaust AR question. Watching your hour-long YouTube video answering YouTube and LS1tech questions was funny and informative. Good. I'm glad. I'm building a SBE 5.3 with an Ed Curtis. I heard Ed Curtis is really good at what he does. I have never met him personally and don't have any of his things cut personally. I wanted to use a big single, but since I already have a twin turbo cam, I figure screw it and go twins. Also, Little John said the cam won't spool for shit on a single, so either buy the right cam and an S480 or go twins. Little John recommended twin 362s, but they will kill my budget. I want to get this bitch together. Okay, my goals are 98 Trans Am, 3400, 800-ish HP, single-digit time slip street car. I was thinking of using some on-361 T4s. My concern is the 68 AR. Honestly, I feel like AR doesn't mean a goddamn thing. People get hung up on the AR number. The AR. The turbine of the turbo dictates the power. The turbine is the size of the fucking wheel. And that makes all the difference in the world. Maybe the last 6 years I've really learned this. Turbine dictates the amount of power you're going to make. AR means goddamn nothing. Nearly fucking jack shit. I hope that makes sense. 68 AR is different in my understanding. If you have a 98mm turbine, 68 AR is huge. If you have a 68 turbine, your 68 AR is small. The AR is a ratio mathematical calculation of the size of the turbine and the housing itself. It's an area mathematical thing. I may be totally wrong, but that's how I understand it. AR, don't look at AR. It doesn't really fucking matter at all. The turbine is going to be what drives your power goal, your amount of power you can make versus your cubic inches, because the engine is a goddamn air pump and it can only supply a certain amount of air out a certain size turbine. And if you turbine limit your motor, you're going to limit your horsepower unless you lower your cubic inches to a point where the turbine doesn't choke off your motor. Does that make sense? I was thinking of on-361 T4s. He says he wants to make 800 horsepower single-digit times in a street car and a 98 Trans Am. I mean, he probably needs to fucking listen to John, Little John, because a lot of Chinese turbos don't have a big enough turbine. But Borg Warner S300 series, you can get in a good-sized turbine. They're gonna kill his budget. He's concerned, so he could spend $300 or $600 on some cheapo Chinese ones and see if they go that far. I don't know. I don't do a lot of twin turbo builds. I feel like twin turbos are stupid. I said, I don't do a lot of twin turbo builds, so it's a difficult question to answer. You could always try some smaller or mid-range China turbos. In my experience, AR means total dog shit, and it's actual turbine size that dictates power limits and capability of your build. So that's what you want to go after. I said he most likely recommended the S300 series Borg Warners because of a larger turbine sizing. You can get a much larger turbine. No one's stopping you from trying some Chinese units. I said, no one's stopping you from trying some 7665s or 7875s, which are $300 to $400 a piece. They might get you there $800 in, but I know like a Borg Warner S366 is like $600 a piece, and you can get them in every flavor and variety you would need to make 1100 plus horsepower tire, retarded amount of power. So, you know, that, what do you want to do with it? Do you want to cheap out on $600 and never hit the horsepower goal do you want? Is that too much? Is $300, $600 too much for you to build your entire car to go low digits? You know, street car? In my opinion, overdoing it a little bit probably get you a lot faster than having the 60-foot, a retarded 60-foot in your street car to go that fast. I said, it's up to you, but the Borgs are capable of more power. So here's the thing. If your car's 60 foot's like fucking magic, you don't need that much power. Next question. Boosted 55 Buick. Hi Matt, I am new to the LS world. My buddy Ron Chicky initially turned me on to you. So I came to your dyno day in the fall and was hooked. That's a terrible experience. You're going to see some pieces of shit and some stuff that makes you question everything. I'm doing a frame off resto on a 55 Buick. I swapped it at 99 Silverado 5.3. I want people to think, hey, nice old man 4-door, and then I have 600 of the wheels. Let me stop you right there. The older 5.3 is not capable of a whole lot of power reliably because the rods are skinnier. I've been all over the wiki page and watched all of your videos on wiring and tuning and would love to run my build by you to see what you think or have your opinion on it. I'm sure you're busy with a million requests. I'd love to hear you talk about it. Well, I feel like a guy like this doesn't understand totally what 500 horsepower to the tire is. 600 tire is pushing it for a Gen 3 motor unless the car is super light, which a Buick 55 4-door is probably heavy as fuck. I'm just going to make an assumption, 4,000 pound. He's got a beast. And I said your older motor is limited to horsepower because of weight and skinnier rods. 500 to 550 max to an unlocked auto is totally doable, but I wouldn't go any more than that. Any of the base model sloppy builds, small end components will easily touch that. You can't push a Gen 3 bottom end that hard or you're gonna fucking squirt a rod. Just gonna send a message. I don't know if I even answered it fully. This guy says 417 intercooler. How's it going? I noticed you've been running the 417 and mentioned less than stellar results. I've been chasing my tail with mine and having been led to believe it was my lines were too small and that my pump was too small and that I needed their water manifolds, and literally I've dropped over 1,000 horsepower upgrading parts needed to function properly, improved a net of 10-degree drop overall with a 5-pound ice box, 20 pounds of ice in it, flowing north of a verified 20 gallons a minute, and I'm seeing well north of 220 degrees manifold temp starting at 47 ambient and a quarter-mile pass. Unbelievable. And yeah, I mean, I hate to say this, but in my experience the 417 is not that great on my buddy's car, and he's done the same thing. He has done everything, changed his reservoir, changed the amount, added the amount of ice, made his reservoir larger, upgraded his lines, upgraded his pump, done 3 or 4 different pumps. They said that it's not pumping water, it's not doing this, it's not doing that. It melts 16 bags of ice and has lackluster inlet temp results every time. And at this point he totally quit and is building an external air-to-water intercooler for his car. I mean, I don't know what to say. They gave us the same runaround. Blake Hughes, the owner, he tells my friend, you need a pump, you need this pump, you need a better pump, you need a 3,500 gallon per hour pump. My buddy custom machined a billet seating thing and put a retarded expensive pump in, has like over 2-inch lines feeding water. Everything's incredible and his inlet temps are disgusting. I mean, I don't know what to say. Some people it might work for, but for my buddy with it's a 400-inch stroker 6-liter LS, and it has twin China turbos that normally don't even have temperature problem on air-to-air and everything, all the requirements being small. It has astronomically high inlet air temperatures for what it is. I said my buddy's building a custom external because the 417 did not work that great. He sold it. And we'll see how that works. Because honestly, I'm a big air-to-air guy. I fucking think putting 100 pounds of ice water in your car is fucking pointless, since air-to-airs work really great. And even $100 or $200 cheap as fuck air-to-airs from China work great. So I really don't understand the point in melting ice every fucking pass for no gain. Let's send that bitch off. We'll go to the next one in a second. Alright, we're back. Mustang. Subject line, Mustang. Hey man, the white Mustang with the 403. Do you know all this is spelled incorrectly? Suspension setup was. I'm gonna skip this. I don't want to answer that. I already answered that. This guy's thing, it says better than a Nigerian prince. Matt, I want to send you some Christmas money for helping me out. My car made 601 horsepower at 11.5 pounds and a 7875 and a stock 5.3 with an LS1 cam. Anyways, send me your PayPal address and I'll send you a little token of my appreciation for putting all of your shit on the internet for me to consume. This is what I put together based off of what I learned from what you're doing. I'd really like a 6.0 and a 4L80E now. 6-speed is kind of silly with 600 tire. He built an IS300? Wow. Oh, it looks nice. He did a nice job. That's cool. He posted dyno charts. Yeah, 7875 and a stick shift is like fucking retarded. Well, I guess I'll give this guy my PayPal. That's cool. I always like hearing that. One out of every 50 to 100 messages of mine is someone just saying, I read everything you did and I did it and I did good too and here's my result. And that's the shit I love. It really makes it worthwhile listening to all the bullshit or other weird questions. Eventually, if I become a pedestal for someone to jump off of to meet all their goals, that's awesome. I'm very happy with that. Obviously, I love helping people, obviously. But why would I do this otherwise? It's frustrating to answer questions after questions are all the same shit, but the good part of it is every now and then, you know, a small percentage of these people, they really love it, they take off, they do really well with it, I'm happy with it, etc. So, anyway. I gave him my PayPal, and I said, thanks, you know, I don't need anything, but thank you. Glad to hear you did great with all the base stuff and everything I provided. Car looks great, thank you, happy holidays. He has 0 posts. He must have just made that just to write me. Locked ECU question. Wow, this is a long one. So I worked in IT for about 10 years, and I feel like I'm decently computer savvy, but at this point I'm a little lost. I bought a 06 CTSV. I'm sorry for you, those are the shittiest cars ever. I took it to my tuner in Virginia before I moved out to Colorado, and I found that the ECU was locked. I'm guessing because it has an aftermarket exhaust and they tuned it and locked it, which fucking blows my mind. It's a stock car with an exhaust. Why did you need to lock your tune? Is your tune that shitty that you don't want anyone to ever see it? Do you know of any way you can unlock a stock GM ECU that's been locked by HP tuners? I bought a replacement ECU, but I need to get the Cadillac, put the stock tune on it. My local dealership is being a bitch. A CTSV is a fucking total piece of shit heartbreaker machine, and the electronics are equally as heartbreaking. I also bought the car to turbo it, but the emissions requirement in Colorado are worse than California. Well, who made that decision, buddy? They want me to retitle the fucking car, so I'll probably leave it NA, but then I thought of running a turbo setup that I could swap out when I need to do the dyno emissions run. Do you think it'd be realistic for a guy, soft IT hands douche, with minimal mechanical abilities to swap out an add-on turbo setup in his driveway in a weekend or so? I was thinking if I could make a harness-based Mega Squirt setup that was Oh my god. Anyway, appreciate the time. My email is blah blah gmail.com if that's easier. Well, holy shit, dude. I mean, you need to find someone in your area that can help you with this, I think, because me over the internet, I think that's a terrible platform. I think the ECU sucks in that car, and I think those cars without any tuning are a total pain in the ass. On top of that, I would avoid them at all costs, unless you can find someone that says, sure, that shit's no problem, and they can actually show you that that shit is no problem, and man, what do I even say? Spelled otherwise 4 times incorrectly. I said I would say that those cars can be finicky and you can find someone in that area to tune it. Awesome. Otherwise, what you are asking for is lofty without lots of HP tuners and mechanical experience, unless someone can easily prove otherwise in your area. Plenty of people say this shit's easy. Plenty of people, if you go on a Fairmont page, will say fitting a 275 tire in the back is easy. It's not fucking easy. You gotta like hammer, pull the quarter, get a custom backspace wheel, hope that your car isn't tweaked and the rear is sitting too far off to one side where it destroys one tire and not the other. No, that shit doesn't fit well out of the box immediately, easily. So don't fucking say that to people. It's a blatant lie. Man, I'll easily swappable. I mean, dude, if you're in this position, you got to find somebody that'll sticker your car, or you got to find a loophole, or you got to not drive it as much that it's emissions exempt. I don't know shit about Colorado emissions laws, but if you just drive it less than you think you might, it might be exempt from all of this shit. You might not have to worry about it. That's how it is in Pennsylvania. If it's under like 5,000 miles a year, it's emissions exempt. You don't need emissions on the car. You don't need to provide anything. It gets difficult. I bought a replacement ECU. I need to get cattle. I mean, you need somebody to help you out, and I do not want to tackle that at all. Nope. Every CTSV I've ever touched is usually a fucking nightmare. The computer or something else. It ends up being a total pain in the ass. I mean, can't you just drive that car? How about you sell the CTSV and you buy like a 03 Civic and you drive that and you buy like a 1980 Fairmont that may be emissions exempt in Colorado and you turbo that. You'll have no money into both of them, and one will be really fast and won't cost you anything and won't be a headache, and you'll have 2 different vehicles in case one breaks. I mean, that's, if you want my honest opinion, that's basically it. I'm just going to send him what I wrote. I don't even know what I wrote. I explained it earlier, but I'm going to skip over it. I'm trying to cut this shit off. It's midnight here already. It's 10:12 a.m. Go my last one. How much experience swapping Gen 3 and Gen 4 rods and pistons? Have, what did he write? This is grammar Nazi. Have much experience swapping Gen 3 and Gen 3 4 rods and pistons. I'm wanting to spin mine about 7K. So much imbalance could really, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. I'm just gonna write no problems, and I'm gonna send it. I've done Gen 4 bottom end and a Gen 3, which is, I'm assuming, what you're getting at. You want to spin it to 7K? I don't care. Go for it. No problems. You're not gonna hurt anything. Both assemblies were designed to swing a fair amount of RPM for 300,000 miles. You should be fine. We're shutting it down. That's it for my questions on that. Maybe sometime I'll do Yellow Bullet. We'll see, since I'm drunker, if this was more worthless of a video than my not as drunk video. I don't even know how long this is. I started and stopped it a few times. Probably about an hour. Jesus Christ. We'll see how this goes. Bye.